I'm Johnny Smith.
I'm Richard Porter.
And this is Smith & Sniff, a podcast in which two friends talk about cars and many other things. There's two things I always fancy doing. If I've had a few to drink and I think, I reckon I could pull that off. One of them is I'd love to be able to pull off a backflip. But I wouldn't
do it. You could do that?
If I was in the right state of mind and I wasn't on a...
What is the right state of mind?
And I wasn't on a flagstone floor.
Yeah, okay.
I'd give it a whirl. I think I'd give it a whirl. I'd probably have had some cider.
Have you ever done a backflip?
I've never done a backflip.
Have you ever tried a backflip?
I went in for one once on the trampoline and I bottled it, and it ended up just being this really odd, and I actually heard my back crunch a little bit.
For God's sake. Also, I don't want to be the harbinger of doom / reality, but you are in your mid to late 40s.
Well, I'm over the threshold of mid-40s. So yeah.
You lack, as I do, the rubberiness of youth, and I think that may count against you. I wouldn't know where to start.
No.
In doing a backflip, because I just don't think I have the physiology for it.
No, I can watch those guys who are a diversity, the dance troupe.
Yes.
I could watch them and what they do. You know, when you run up a wall a bit and use it as your starting point.
But that's the thing. A group like Diversity makes everything they do look incredibly easy, and it's not.
Maybe that's where we're going wrong. Smith and Sniff needs to be way more than just two guys talking bobbins.
What? It's also a dance troupe.
Yeah, we could also do some keen moves.
Two middle-aged men. But every time we perform live, we have to go. One of us will go, "I'm sorry, unfortunately, tonight Johnny won't be appearing because he's put his back out.
You know,
Richard won't be here because his knees hurt."
Yeah, well, you do that sort of front diagonal roll, like a gyroscopic roll thing with no hands.
I don't know what you mean.
There'll be a name for it. Anyway, listen, look, guys. Here's the saga. You might have heard there's some birds, and there was an aeroplane just a minute ago.
Yeah.
We are watching the sun go down, overlooking a wildlife reserve.
Yeah.
Within the vicinity of the Goodwood Festival of Speed.
Yes. We're about a half an hour's drive away.
Yeah.
But that is well worth it for where we are. So it's an RSPB nature reserve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Suddenly, an abnormal number of planes going. Where are these planes going?
Malaga.
Or are they coming into?
If
I hadn't turned my phone off, I'd have a look at flight radar.
Gatwick's back.
Might be Gatwick, yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, sorry about that. But we're sitting outside here.
We thought we'd risk it.
It's Friday night. We've been at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Let me tell you, everything we've experienced has been so fucking and it doesn't stop here. Yeah, we're looking out over some wetlands. The chap who owns this place just told us earlier on that in the winter this floods. It basically becomes a massive lake, but in this warmer weather there's just sort of smaller pools in the middle. I've got some geese and ducks on them.
Yeah.
I saw a heron last night.
Yeah, we saw, and we saw this morning when I was trying to inhale breakfast. We saw a lesser spotted woodpecker.
It was a lesser spotted, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
They got very jerky head movements. I'd forgotten.
Like sugs.
Yeah, just like
They're
Sugs from Madness.
of the bird.
When you watch that Madness commercial involving the Toyota City Jazz, the Honda City Jazz,
yeah.
It looks like all of their heads.
Yeah.
What their heads are doing are basically bird heading.
Can I say thank you to a chap called Brad, who's a PR guy from Honda, because when we were mincing around Goodwood's doing the stuff we've been doing, filming for
the Goodwood. Stuff we've been doing.
We've been filming for Goodwood Road and Racing's YouTube channel. The people on the Honda stand in the first glance paddock had, I thought, these quite cool but simple Honda baseball caps on. And I said to Johnny, I wonder where I can get one of those from, me being a Honda owner these days. And then I bumped into Brad from Honda, who I've never met before. I've only ever sort of spoken to him on email when I've had questions about
SSG.
Cars. Yeah, very, very nice guy, isn't he? Because I said to him, and he was wearing one of these caps. And I went, Brad, where can I get one of those caps from? Because, I've got a Honda now. And he went, I'll send you one. And... Well, he said, I'll get you one. And I thought, okay, well, he'll put one in the post, but he might forget. It's fine. Well, I've asked. Obviously, being car journo scum, I didn't say, where can I buy one? But
I forgot about that.
and then we were
I'm
carrying
just
on
opening
filming.
a bottle of rosé, which has got some amazing condensation running down.
I know.
We've had a hard day, just so you know.
It's been, no, we shouldn't complain, but it's been very hot. Well, just to finish the story, so bless him. Thank you, Brad, because I thought maybe he might post me one, but actually not. He was basically like, yeah, I'll get you one, and then just walk away going, freeloading scum. But no, 5 minutes later, he appeared as if by magic and just gave me a nice black Honda cap, which I'm going to wear when I'm driving my Beat, if that's not too tragic.
Listen to this.
This is ASMR now.
The taste of summer, my friends.
I worry that people are going, that's a generous pour as well. Thank you, John.
Well, it's summer. And
Yeah, it is.
And we finished our work.
This,
today.
of course, goes live on Monday morning. It's Friday night for us, so we've had a long day in the sun. But listening to this on a Monday morning might be a bit weird, unless you're one of those people we saw today walking around Goodwood at 10 o'clock in the morning drinking from a can of Stella.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I thought that was quite punchy.
There was some warm export strength lager warriors, wasn't there? And
Where had they got those Stellas from? Because you remember when we went in on Thursday morning, they were confiscating booze from people.
They were. The security people, who do bag searching. And what was it, 7 in the morning? It was 7 in the morning.
7 in the morning,
and
yeah.
there were people having extremely inviting cold cans of strawberry daiquiri, gin and tonic pre-mixer jobs.
Well, that's it.
There was a bottle of Prosecco, I think.
Yeah, the guy whose table we had to go to for the bag search. Well, except I didn't, because I put my bag on the table and he went, have you got any alcohol in there? And I went, no. And he went, all right, go in.
Well,
So really, it was like an honesty test. But his table, he'd already got, some strawberry daiquiri, some gin in a tin.
Gin in a tin.
I think he had like a Kronenberg, can of Kronenberg or something like that. But it sort of looked like he was running a shit stall at a school fair and he was selling these cans. It was quite a confusing look. And then we noticed that the guy at the next table had got a much bigger haul of the boozes. I think that's where the Prosecco was.
Much bigger haul.
So
it's like he was hastily selling just... You know when you get broken up boxes of beer and wine and things, so it should be in a multi-pack, but some of it's fallen out and you can just sell it a bit cheap. It's like he was selling all of that on a wobbly table to just like make us an offer for petrol money so I can get home.
But it's funny they weren't just like throwing it in a bin. I wonder what happens to that stuff.
I know what happens to that
They just sell it to people coming out again. You can buy your own booze back.
Yeah, why the hell not? But look,
So those lads with the Stellas, they must have snuck them in. So I don't think they sell cans of Stella at the Goodwood Festival of Speed.
Maybe they drop them via drone.
Oh, prison spec.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or, look at that. Can you hear? I don't know if you can hear that on mic.
That's goose anti-lag. Did you hear it?
Going over. I think maybe what you sneak into the site before it's fenced off and bury.
Oh, Bathurst 500
Bathurst, exactly.
Do you know, when I first heard that story, I was like, you're joking. And they were like, no, for real, that's been happening for generations.
Is it also not true that at one point they went, we really need to crack down on people bringing booze in here, so there's a new limit. You're allowed one slab of beer per person per day.
And is that like 40 cans or something? What is a slab?
No, I don't think it's that many. But it's hang on, would it be 18 or something? Like, no.
It's maybe a lot more, of cans.
24, 4 by 6.
Yeah, it's a lot of cans.
I don't know what an Aussie slab is. Maybe it's small. Because like Aussies have like schooners. It's smaller than a pint, because if you have a pint, by the time you finished it, it's going to get warm because of the weather.
And I've got time for that.
No, I think that's very practical.
So I want to talk about Goodwood Festival of Trousers.
Well, okay, go on.
So, Richard has been wearing trousers for the last 2 days. I went for the short option.
Yeah, now I don't like wearing shorts on camera because I don't think I have the legs for it.
Well, I probably don't either, you know. I've just thought I wanted some ducting. I just wanted to get a little bit of relief from, because it's so damn hot at the moment. Anyone listening outside of the UK, we're having unprecedented hot spells.
Yes. People in like Southern California or South Africa or whatever howling with laughter at the fact that we're all melting because it's nearly 30 degrees.
I mean, like, get this, right? And I'm being deadly serious here. Last night, I left the roof down on my Boxster.
You went Cali spec.
I went full Californian spec. I parked it. Okay, it's safe. It's off the road and stuff. But I parked it overnight with the roof down, confident in the knowledge that it wouldn't be wet in the morning.
No.
It was slightly dewy, but not quite.
The upper surface of your sun visors was really dewy, and I was like, I must remember not to fold down the sun visor for some reason because it will just dump liquid into my lap.
Yeah,
and it'll look like I've weed myself.
Yeah. But so I've never done that. I've never left a car overnight with a cabrio with the roof down, I don't think.
No. It's crossed my mind. Like, I've got more cabrio confident since I bought my Beat, because I will now just go to the supermarket or something like that. I also think my Beat is too cute to fuck up.
Yeah.
You'd have to be a hard-hearted person to want to mess with the Beat.
It's like kicking a puppy.
Sweet, exactly. So I'm like, no one's going to monkey with this car, and they haven't so far, touch wood.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about... Well, I don't know. So the trousers situation.
Trousers.
I'm wearing trousers because I don't want to get my legs out on camera. But then I'm also having to wear long sleeves because I have finally got my British Leyland tattoo.
He has.
And I only got it last Saturday. The tattooist had a cancellation, so he rang me on Friday afternoon and went, "Do you want to come in tomorrow?" And I went, "Yeah, sure." Well, I was booked in for like 2 weeks down the line. I went, "Yeah, okay." And my wife went, "Hang on, aren't you getting a Goodwood next week?" Yeah. She went, "Well, you can't have a tattoo in the sun for the,
And P.S. This is the driest spell
it's meant
we've
to be
had.
really, really hot next week.
Driest June we've ever had.
I'll be fine. I usually try and put a smart shirt on for doing the on-camera stuff, but not really reckoning with the weather. So if you are watching the stuff that we're doing on Goodwood Road and Racing and you're going, why is Jonny dressed like he's going to the beach in Palma Nova?
Yeah.
And Richard's dressed like he's going to a sales conference on the outskirts of Reading. Captain Smart Casual there with his sleeves rolled down. It's because I'm having to protect my tat.
I'm just Sonny Crocketing it while I can with my midlife crisis convertible.
But did we not work out today that what we were doing, because we were totally mismatched outfits, that you look like it's very warm correctly and I look like it's not warm at all, and we are actually creating our own R&B video where it's very hard to get a read on the actual temperature.
Nobody knows what the thermostat's
Why are you
doing.
dressed so differently?
The thermostat's all out of whack.
Anyway, sorry, yes, the Festival of Trousers.
So before we talk about cars, dreadful to think that we will.
It's not so good.
There's a part of the Goodwood site called the Future Lab, and it's got nothing to do with a thick dog that's going to happen beyond the present.
They're not thick.
Oh, Labrador. Which are the thickest ones? Golden Retrievers. That's quite
they're
thick.
not thick. No,
I thought Labradors were thick.
No.
Oh, what
They're
are
very trained like guide dogs.
But I've got a friend. My friend's Labrador eats sick and licks.
They're disgraceful. In that respect, they're absolute morons.
It's got a steel galvanised car trailer, and it won't stop licking it.
Yeah. Oh no, they're idiots like that. They're food obsessed.
Okay.
And a friend of ours had a Labrador that ate something. I won't repeat it. It was so disgusting. Both going in and out. They eat anything. They are idiots in that respect. But no, they're brainy dogs because they're guide dogs. You couldn't have an idiot guide dog. I think like things like red setters are a bit zany.
Red setters are really mad. Do you know what red setters remind me of? They remind me of pre-runner trucks.
Yes, they're quite springy suspension.
And a much higher front end to a back end.
Yeah, very high energy.
But they're always ready to bounce and kind of settle quickly after the jump.
Yes.
There's a pre-runner thing going on.
But yeah, Future Lab is not a project to determine how the Volkswagen Golf of dogs might evolve.
But in the Future Lab, to explain, lots of technology that on the face of it probably a lot of people would not take much notice of, but really useful.
Well, actually, by the time this podcast goes out on Monday morning, our video from the Future Lab hopefully will have gone live, so people will be able to watch and see inside the Future Lab.
Yeah, so there's lots of tech and science that will involve our everyday lives, as well as motorsport and vehicle manufacture, etc., etc. Of course, there's robots in there.
Of course
there bloody is. And the one in question that you and I have been giggling about non-stop. There's a robot in there which has got it's got an extremely small head, and it's
sort of got like a coat hanger for a head. It's really weird. It hasn't really got a head.
But the creators of the robot have decided that it should have a black leather jacket on, like T-Birds from Grease spec.
I've realised only after we left there as well, the robot's quite small. So it's a humanoid robot. So it's got arms and legs.
It's
and
4
sort of
feet
the
tall.
Form of, so that was a child. Where have they got a child's black leather jacket from?
And the other thing is, because this thing it walks a bit human-like, and it can wave at you, and it can kind of crouch. And
it's got a bit of the Asimos about it. It looks like it may have just done a sporty fart, and it's trying to sort of proceed with dignity towards the bathroom.
But we're talking trousers because it's got this black leather West Side Story jacket.
Why has it got a black leather jacket?
I don't know what it's got.
Like this guy's dressed as Alvin Stardust.
You remember Crater Face from Grease? And he had quite a small head. I think it's a robotic Crater Face from off of Grease. But so this thing, it's got the leather jacket on. It's walking around in front of women, men, and children, waving and doing its robotic stuff. But it's got no pants or trousers on. So it's basically leather jacket.
Double tucking it.
It's leather jacket shirt cocking. We were filming it. We were talking about it. But it's hard to be sensible when all you're thinking about is who's going to wake up in the morning and go, I'm going to put a leather jacket on. I'm going to leave everything else out. The junk will completely be out. I'm just going to wear a leather jacket.
Have you ever put a coat onto your otherwise bare torso? Like, for example, you suddenly need to just nip out of the house because the car alarm's going off or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that feels weird, doesn't it?
Oh, really weird.
A coat without another layer beneath it. So that robot, well, I suppose it knows no better.
It doesn't know.
But it also doesn't know you need to wear trousers in civilised society.
Exactly. But to bring this in a absolutely massive boomerang back round to car-related matters. So we've got a shirt-cocking robot, basically. And Richard and I are talking, and we're going, that needs some trousers. And, of course, Richard going, well, we're at the Festival of Speed. I bet Jenson Button's here somewhere.
Yes.
And if Jenson Button's here, that means trouser promotion could be here.
He is the crown prince of trousers, as we now know, because he's constantly advertising trousers.
Yeah.
In fact, we were talking earlier on about that there may come a point where a younger generation will only associate Jenson Button with trousers. And you'll be able to go, you know that trouser guy? You know who's once Formula One world champion? No, really?
No. What?
I thought he just did trousers.
Yeah, trouser guy.
It's confusing, the Jenson Button trousers, because on looking a little bit closer at the adverts that I seem to be constantly served, and I don't know if anyone else is getting these, but he's gone in hard on trousers. And they're actually advertised as 24-hour trousers.
What?
Why would you need that? That implies that you sleep in the trousers. And is this a racing driver going, I could save valuable seconds of getting undressed time by simply sleeping in my trousers?
Are they? But does he do? Because like today, obviously being really hot.
Yes.
And you were probably suffering in the old
in the trousers,
the flesh pendulum department. It was, it was hot. Does he do superleggera trousers? Does he do technical, breathable? Better than linen if you were the Del Monte man type trousers.
I mean, I presume he speaks to his trouser engineers the way he used to speak to his race team, and goes, you need to tweak the settings for the conditions,
absolutely,
just like a racing car,
completely.
Because I'm going to be wearing these for 24 hours. I'm going to sleep in them. I'll be under a duvet later, so you need to make sure they can cope.
But of course, he's obviously in deep in this campaign.
He really is in deep.
He's in deep with this campaign. So, you get people firing T-shirt cannons into the crowd. Do you not?
Yes.
So I think there needs to be a trouser cannon, and I know that sounds like a ridiculous euphemism,
but that does actually.
But Jenson Button's trouser cannon needs to happen.
But when we were talking on, I can't remember when, earlier this week, about when we were once again puzzling over Jenson Button's sudden pivot towards trousers.
Trouser pivot is great.
We were like, is he bringing sort of motorsport thinking to them? Perhaps in hotter weather, the kind of need for cooling of the underparts of a gentleman.
Absolutely.
And you said, well, he should probably fit them with a knacker duct.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's the best.
I now want that. So Jenson, or friends of Jenson, if you're listening,
I've not been knocked unconscious by him firing his trouser cannon at you.
I'd love to road test some of these trousers.
It sounds like we're now angling after some free trousers, doesn't it? Which was not the intention here.
No.
I'm genuinely interested. To the point where I almost feel like I might crack and just go, fuck it, I'll buy some of his trousers.
But I'd like a knacker duck option, wouldn't you? I really would.
Well, I almost went and started doing some on-camera stuff with my flies open yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Thank God the sound recorders came over to sort my mic out and went, oh, by the way, your flies are open.
Oh, brilliant.
Thanks,
brilliant.
Gil.
So really this robot that's pretending to be in Happy Days, Monday, Tuesday, Happy Days, Wednesday, Thursday, you've forgotten your pants and trousers. Friday, you're in jail. Saturday, what a day.
Saturday, magistrate, being fined £900.
Yes. It needs a pair of button trousers.
I think it does, and he can get his trouser techs to make them in the appropriate size, because I don't think Jenson makes child trousers at the moment.
No, almost certainly.
He seems to be focused entirely on men, but yeah.
Which is just a bigger market. Another thing that happened, we're staying, so where we're staying, going back to the RSPB, epic sunset environment. You hopefully
the sun is just disappearing over some hills in the distance.
I'll get a little photo of this because it is good enough.
It's ludicrously beautiful.
And I must say that we've stayed in some interesting places before.
Yeah.
And this is the best Airbnb we've stayed at.
we do sound like we're just promoting stuff.
I don't know why we're saying that. Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's so leafy and beautiful, and and things were going so well last night until
yes, I forgot about this.
Until Rich and I agreed. We'd done a bit of revision for the filming we've done today. We were extremely tired. Time for lights out. Went into the bathroom to brush my teeth. Lo and behold, there's 2 low-flying aircraft in there, isn't there?
Yes,
there really is.
Oh, shit.
Are they drones? No. What are they? Exceptionally large wasps.
Still can't work out if they were wasps or hornets. I think they were big wasps because they
had a long thorax.
Yes. The hornets I encountered, which were definitely hornets, made a very sinister low buzz.
Like a Hercules aircraft?
Yes.
A rumble?
Or... what's that bloody... is it Kapok Air? There's some old Soviet 4-prop cargo plane.
Yeah.
That still sometimes comes to Britain. Not one of those... I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, you can hear that bastard.
Yeah.
And I often, because I'm a total geek about this stuff, and I always look on Flight Radar or that other website that shows military planes. And... it's always that.
Yeah.
And I always think, what does it sound like on board?
Yeah.
Because also Flight Radar will say, oh yeah, and by the way, it's at 28,000 feet. And you're like, oh my God, it's so loud here on the ground and it's 28,000 feet up. Oh.
Yeah.
That's the Hornet.
It sounds like you're going into a kind of Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, where there's lots of chanting.
Yes.
And swinging of incense and maybe some sacrificial shit going down.
But
there were large wasps.
So let's say they were big wasps.
There were large, low-flying wasps in there. So I immediately aborted my toothbrush mission and tried to herd them out the small window. No. They eventually then came into the main room of this Airbnb, and it's got a high roof. It's a barn conversion-y thing. So I thought, I'll leave them. I'm tired. There's cobwebs up there. They'll get clogged up, and it'll stall the edges.
Swatting the cobwebs out of the way.
They are. They're just trimming them.
The spider. Yeah, they're not scared by that.
So I brush my teeth while they're not in there, and I think I've got to go to bed. I take the lot off, and I start just prepping the clothes for the next day. And they then come into the bedroom. They then come into the bedroom, and there's a big window in the bedroom. So I think I'm going to herd them out. I don't want to kill them. I'll just herd them out. So I'm using a pair of shorts because I've taken my shorts off and pants. So what we've got here is a middle-aged naked man trying to herd out.
Were you absolutely butt naked?
Completely naked. It's so hot.
It's so high risk, though. I mean, you could have been stung on the sack.
Yeah, I could have actually. Yeah, that's true. I didn't get stung anywhere, especially on the swingers, but I was trying to herd out. If you can imagine this terrible scene, I had to open the curtains so the wildlife reserve will have seen this. Herding out a wasp with a coaster and a large glass, and then it not working. Then I use a pair of shorts. I get one of the wasps out, and it immediately U-turns above my head and goes straight back into the bedroom, and then hides in my bedside light where it's just thrashing around and stalling. I'll fast forward. 45 minutes later, I'm still running around my bedroom, stark bollock naked.
What time was this at this point? Bear in mind, I was in the other bedroom fast asleep.
Was this half midnight?
I don't know.
I think this was gone midnight.
Jesus, and we had to get up at 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah.
So I'm getting frantic and annoyed now. I actually shouted, for fuck's sake, and I nearly woke you up in a frenzy, and I thought, no, because I'm naked and I've got a pair of shorts in my head.
They're laughing. Oh, look.
Predatory guy.
There's naked Jonny, and he's sort of flanked, he's got some Imperial Guard by two massive wasps.
Yeah, honestly, they were
big bastards.
I herded the other one out, and it came back in again, and that was it. I was like, right. So I left the door open, and I twirled round the sports shorts that I had, and I whipped one so hard it went across the room and then went onto the wall. And I was like, well, that's gone. I won't worry about that. It didn't make a sound after that. I was like, that one's gone. I'm sorry. Gave you a chance. You blew it. Next one, I managed to get out. So I'm like, brilliant. I can go to bed. Went to bed. Fine. Albeit took 45 minutes. This morning, 5:30 alarm went off. Walked over to go to the toilet to have a big long sit down wee, which I do look forward to. And then I heard you after I came out of the shower, and I said, "Oh, the bloody wasps were giving me hell last night." And then just as I said the word wasp, like it was on cue in a film, it went wah, 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 like a strimmer from underneath the chair, and it came out spinning around. Its tracking was massively out from where I hid it. The bloody wasp was not only still alive, but it was spooling up for maximum attack. It was
I
huge.
would love to speak to a wasp scientist, because people say, "Oh, don't anger a wasp; it'll sting you." But is that are wasps capable of anger? Is it actually they're just when threatened they will defend themselves?
I was watching this wasp closely as it was self-healing.
Yeah,
and it turned its head side to
like
side,
a hard man.
Yeah, or like a Jack Russell when it's trying to understand what your commands are. And they look at you and they tilt and they go, "I think I understand, but I'm not quite sure. Let me just check."
Yeah.
It was doing that before it took off, and it did take off, so it had self-healed.
Like that hornet that was on the door frame that eyeballed me. Like it definitely pivoted its head to go,
"Do you want some?
All right, son.
Do you want some?" So that's what happened. So it was misfiring, then it self-healed, its tracking was out, and then it just flew out the room. And
I personally, like normal wasps, these are, as we've said, big bastards, but a normal wasp, I think the best policy with a normal wasp, you're sitting outside having a jam sandwich and the wasps will go, "Ooh," and come by, is really just try and ignore the wasp.
Yeah.
I'm always disappointed in people who get a bit flappy around wasps.
Yeah, I agree.
And I include the other members of my family. My wife and children flap about with wasps. And I keep saying to the kids, wasps only sting people who make a fuss.
Yeah.
And they haven't absorbed that information.
It's the automotive equivalent of overcorrecting when the car goes slightly out of control.
It is flailing around, accidentally putting the wipers on. If you're just calm and measured in your reactions, you're probably okay. But I really people who just get all fussy around wasps. It's just like, I just go, just calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
they're not going to sting you unless you annoy them.
Let's talk cars.
Do we have to?
No.
But we probably should.
Look, we were on the Cartier. There's a lawn bit outside the Goodwood house called the Cartier Style Luxe, and it's just a lawn with some great cars parked.
A lawn that happens to be covered in really great cars.
Yeah, it's always dripping in quality machinery, and no exception this event. So we had a couple of Rons. In fact, we had 5 Rons or 6 Rons.
6. I could probably tell you because I've made some notes, but there were
20th birthday of the Ron.
Yeah, which is in itself is amazing. But yes, there were there was Well, there's a very original 2005 Veyron, but better than that, there was also the fifth and final prototype Veyron was there. And then a Super Sport and a...
Super Sport. Boats. I can spell,
say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there were 5, I think.
Yeah. So we had 5 Rons there, which were great. And I think I'm more in... Visually, they're more appealing to me now than they were. But we'll move on from the Rons, because Rons are great, but, everyone knows about Rons now. And we had to talk about Facel Vegas.
Oh, yes.
And I have got the hots.
For Facel.
Yeah, really have the hots.
Well, you already did, though, didn't you?
I did.
There's nothing to do with seeing them now. You were already there, but I suppose seeing them in person, seeing a cluster of them as well.
I really was enamoured by them. They are such a cool thing. There's 2 French cars that I've just got to get my mittens on at some point. Citroen SM, Facel Vega HK 500. What a handsome, probably quite a good cruiser.
Yeah.
Stylish from almost every angle. The rear lights on the tops of the rear wings, they are one of the best I've ever seen.
Wraparound windscreen as well.
Oh, wraparound windscreen. Boy, oh boy.
Which is lovely.
The deepest of deep dish steering wheels. Oh.
I would also love a Facel Vega in my Fantasy League French car garage, but I'm afraid I would sub in DS for SM.
Okay.
Because have I mentioned this before? The very, very last DS ever made was made on the day I was born.
Yeah, that's so brilliantly significant.
So I feel a sort of strange connection with that car, and so I would go DS. Also, I think maybe the DS might be easier to keep running in a normal way.
100%.
The SM is going to
100%.
It's going to vex you. The Facel Vega, though, Chrysler V8.
I know, right?
I know. Probably not too stressful to keep in good order.
Mechanically, no. And if someone reverses into you in a Honda Jazz in the car park, yes, probably so, a bit stressful.
A nuisance.
But what's weird, and I probably told you this before, but I got introduced to Facel Vegas from quite an early age when I did my work experience at a local village car repair garage.
What?
Yeah. It's a regular village repair garage, okay, that did body repairs, and I just asked if I could be up there for a week. And it was great. It really opened my eyes to the sorts of...
How old were you at this point?
I was 16,
okay.
15 or 16. And the guys that ran the place, they just did usual things like, change the wing on a Peugeot 205 and blow it over. But one of the geezers there called Fred, who was a non-stop smoker, they had a little, dirty little caravan in the middle of the courtyard, which they used to have their tea breaks in, and they invited me in, and I sat down. I was surrounded by burly guys, and it was a very male heavy environment. And Fred said,
were they smoking in the caravan?
Oh yes, they were, and it was only a tiny little Monza or a Sprite or something, and they were drinking out of extremely grubby tea mugs.
Yeah.
But he said, have you ever heard of a Facel Vega? And I went, no. He said, Facel Vega is one of the most glamorous, rare, unheard of cars. And he said, I've restored a couple of them,
What?
Yeah, he said, I've restored a couple of them for a rich geezer once. He was from London. He'd moved from London to Somerset. And he said, yeah, if they're restored now, they can be worth up to £30,000. And I thought to myself, whoa, okay.
That's a lot of money.
But Fred liked welding without a mask.
Oh, God.
So Fred had archive issues.
Oh, gosh.
And was a non-stop smoker. So the chances of Fred being alive right now are probably quite slim, sadly. And, I went home and I looked up in some textbooks and, afterwards, what on earth is this Facel Vega that he talks about? Because kids, we didn't have the internet. No. You couldn't just get your phone out your pocket because there wasn't one and go, what's a Facel Vega? And I was like, this is so cool. And it's this brilliant marriage of a really sexy, elegant body shell over proven, thundering, pretty cheap and robust American V8. I just flipping keeled over for it. I thought it was wicked.
Well, if you want to know more about Facel Vega and see some Facel Vegas, you could always watch our Cartier Style Lux video from Goodwood, which might be up by now, I don't know. But what's particularly cool about Facel Vega is that, well, it's not cool that they only lasted for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, the star that burns twice as brightly burns for half as long. And,
that's right.
And they, 10 years. But in that time, they attracted the patronage of a great many celebrities because they were so glamorous.
Yeah.
Ava Gardner had one, Dean Martin. I
Cher.
haven't been able to. I think Sinatra might have had one. Sterling Moss definitely had one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so did Pablo Picasso.
Now that is cool. His car must still be around.
I don't know. That's a good question, actually.
Or did he like relocate the headlights and things? And
Yes,
make
all
it
over on
really...
one side, and then he had a massive accident.
Then it looked like it looked like a flatfish, and it. Yeah, but honestly, yeah, such a such a
yes,
cool car.
they are fabulous.
And we looked at some the Alpinas.
Yes.
Again, I know Alpina's just sort of being wound down. And,
yes, it is.
And going under the big wing of BMW. And they had a load of classic Alpinas there, E21, E30, E28 5 Series, E12 5 Series.
Yes.
What was the 7? There was a 7 there, wasn't there?
There was an E32 7, I think.
Yeah.
And an 8 Series.
Oh, yeah.
The 8 Series was a V12 based on 850 CSI.
Yeah.
But engine expanded out. That's one of the ones, we said this when we were filming with it, but normally Alpina changed all the springs and dampers and did all sorts of suspension, but the 850 CSI was one of the few cars where Alpina, who know what they're doing, not that BMW don't, but Alpina sort of seemed to add an extra layer of excellence to things, but Alpina thought the 850 CSI was actually pretty good as BMW did it.
Yeah.
And they only changed the front springs just to lower the front end slightly. That was it.
Well, they all had really funky interiors, didn't they? And you're listening to this knowing about Alpina interiors. They were known for it. But one of the chaps that we were in the film crew, who was like one of our runners and researchers, he went, do you know, the interiors just remind me of really cool old buses. Old bus seats.
Really?
Yeah, because of those sort of like two stripe or 3 colour stripe seats. And I was like, oh yeah, they do look like a retro coach.
I hadn't thought about that.
And the interiors are so wild. I absolutely love them. And I do wonder whether or not, with the potential death of Alpina in its form.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same, is it? It's just going to become a sort of subset of BMW, but done all in-house. Won't be the same.
It'll be watered down, won't it?
Yeah.
And maybe not. So I think we're about to see a surge of Alpina prices.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
I really do.
We said it when we were filming, didn't we? That Alpina is almost a very definition of if you know, you know.
Yeah, what's the initials for that? Because
it's
IYKYK. That's it. And for many, many months, I read that on things like Instagram, and I had no freaking idea.
Oh man, it's just a sign of getting old, isn't it? You have to look up abbreviations.
Honestly,
you see it on the internet.
Honestly, just had no idea.
No, I know.
But it is if you know, you know, and
I hadn't thought about this, that they will become increasingly sought after because they sort of already are. I think their values are pretty solid.
Yeah.
Because you don't really buy one by accident, but you would seek one out because you know that it's really good.
Yeah, and certainly the earlier cars, they are absolutely 100% low volume cars.
Yeah.
Very personal. And that E30 that was there that you said was owned by Carl Cox, the DJ.
Yeah.
Who has exquisite car taste.
What else has Carl Cox had then that you know of?
I've got a list somewhere because he's been interviewed. He's listed some stuff, and I've seen a couple of his cars. I've reached out, as Americans,
have you,
to his manager, and his manager's agreed to let me film his car collection.
Oh,
the problem is Carl Cox really bloody busy, and he lives for most of the year in Australia.
Does he?
Yeah, so it's a little bit difficult to. Yeah.
Why does he live in Australia?
I don't actually know. And then he has a residency off of Ibiza.
Yeah.
And he is really into his motorbikes, as you probably know. And he has a race team, and he drives a pro mod dragster for fun.
What?
He has a pro modified dragster for fun.
Is he not like 60?
I don't actually know how old Carl Cox is.
Well, Carl Cox sort of always looks the same, doesn't he? He just looks like Carl Cox.
He does just look like Carl Cox, yes.
But I don't know why I'm surprised he lives in Australia. I actually thought he'd just live in Ibiza.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he obviously earns a lot of money and spends a lot of time in Ibiza, but he loves Australia. I think he's in the UK not that long anymore. So my window of getting hold of Cox.
Coxie.
Yeah, it's very hard. But anyway, so Carl, you've got great taste in cars. But this E30, B6, B5? I'm trying to remember, B5, B6.
It was I thought it was a, oh, fuck, now I'm going to say it wrong. But it says B3?
I'll have to I took pictures of it because I was so bloody into it. It was just
so bloody into you.
I tell you, mate, I was so into you. I took pictures of you and that, and like I'm going to stare at them, and then like, yeah. So so it's a B6 3.5. What really blew my socks off is the fact that that car, it had a 3.5 fitted in it 12 months after the original owner collected it because they wanted to up the power. That had 261 horsepower in 1986. And that car weighs a ton.
Yeah, and also they don't have the most sophisticated suspension. That was still when BMWs were sort of notoriously tail happy. So
yeah, that thing would have been a handful.
You're one wet roundabout away from
destroying it.
Yeah, embarrassment. But
so you think about this, folks, and you know we've been looking at so many supercars at the Festival of Speed because obviously Supercar Paddock is probably the busiest bit.
Yeah.
Very aspirational, and the power struggle of supercars now is just massive. Nearly everything's hybrid. Nearly everything's got close to 1,000 horsepower. Nearly everything can do sub 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Nearly everything goes well into the 200s miles an hour.
Yeah.
But it's all big and it's all quite heavy. You know, when a car gets near a ton again, there's a big hoo-ha about it. So I do think, and I've probably said this before, the sensation of speed is more important than speed.
Well, we were, excuse me, we were talking.
A cold start throat.
That was a bit, wasn't it? Just my carbs need a slight adjustment. We were talking about this on the way home, weren't we? Because oh, thank you. I'll have a little splash more wine. And in relation to my Honda and the fact that it feels like you're going quickly when you're just not.
Yeah.
And it's like you only realise it because you're like, oh my god, we're zooming along here and it's brilliant, and the engine's all revving and lots of gear changes, and then you get to some traffic lights where it's like you're sort of in parallel with someone else who's in a Qashqai or something or a Focus, and then they very easily, without breaking sweat, are getting away from you because, in fact, you're not going very fast at all. But that's the thing, the sensations. This is why, actually, one of the supercars that intrigued me the most is that new Lamborghini Temeraria, the replacement for the Huracan, just because they ditched the V10, but it's got that new V8. It is turbocharged, but it revs to 10,000. And they've tuned it specifically to allow certain vibrations to come through the cabin, through the shell, through the structure of the car, just to make it feel tingly and interesting.
More visceral.
That's the thing. And it's sort of like, sensations-wise, you go,
yeah,
well, that could be a thing.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, it has got a fuck ton of horsepower as well, because it's got a hybrid system in it, as well as that new V8. But even so, I was a bit like, yeah, I could. And I never got on with the Gallardo or the Huracan, mostly because I really didn't fit in them very well.
Well, there is that, especially the Roadster.
Well, no, the Roadster, in a way, the Roadster, at least my head wasn't squashed against the ceiling because there wasn't one. But then, the seat doesn't go back far enough.
Footwell, yeah.
Well, also, that's the thing, because I was on an Evo Car of the Year, and I think it was still a Gallardo at that point. Some kind of, what was a Gallardo that was like the sort of ultimate version? They sent the Roadster down, and I didn't even get to drive it because some of my colleagues went out in it and came back and went, there's something not right with that car. And then they rang Lamborghini and went, there's something not right with this car. No, this car is perfect. And they go, no, something is not right with this car. And the guys from Lamborghini came back, put it on a truck, took it away to a workshop somewhere, and then went, oh yes, here's a problem with the car. One of the engine mounts isn't connected to the engine.
What?
The engine was loose on one side.
Loose?
Yeah. So I never got to drive that, and the other ones I couldn't fit in, and also I didn't think they were that great.
I'm with you on that, but there were plenty of interesting supercars.
But I was going to look up because I've completely forgotten.
And the
Temerario is 907 horsepower in total.
Bloody hell.
That's a lot, isn't it? That's within, where are we? That's 80 horsepower less than original Veyron.
Yeah.
And that's in the, inverted commas, baby Lamborghini.
I was going to say, is that your entry-level Beghini? Yeah.
Where does this madness stop?
Well, if we're going to be like sensible car podcast guys about this, guys, with a Z, guys.
Well,
that's why I think people will just start to become more interested in the resto mod because the base, the donor car, the base car that you're starting with is both lighter, slimmer, more bijou, and therefore it will feel more analog, responsive.
I think that's right. We were talking last night, weren't we, about those MST Escorts, and they just announced that new sort of nice narrow body car. Yeah. It's not cheap, but then it's sort of...
But it is in supercar terms. It's not a supercar term. But, you know, in that supercar lineup, when we were weaving through today trying to film, that Mustang GTD, which is definitely not a diesel. Because I always...
Still not a diesel.
I can't stop thinking about GTD on a Peugeot 205. The GTD, my CDT teacher had a GTD.
CDT GTD?
I know, it's getting a bit wordy. But my CDT teacher, who was actually quite a cool guy, Mr. Hoyle, he had a very, very cool Peugeot 205 GTD. And then he built one of those Lomax kit cars out of a rotten 2CV.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. Interesting guy.
Yeah, GTD, it's better than weren't the sort of equivalent Citroen BX was the TRD, which always just looked like turd.
Yes, that's right. Or tired.
The UK importer finally went to the French head office and went, could we please change this for Britain? Well, we don't. Yeah,
terrible. Maybe that's why Toyota. But Toyota TRD.
Yeah, they still do, don't they? Turd
racing, basically.
Turd racing.
Yeah, it's just not right. But the Mustang. So
yes, the Mustang.
So the day before we went to the Festival of Goodwood. We were playing around. I'll keep it kind of vague. I was playing around at Top Gear's old test track with a fold product of some sort that is in a forthcoming video off of the Late Break Show.
Yeah.
But they were testing the GTD down there, shaking it down and basically kicking it in the nuts, actually.
Well, yes, and that's the exact car that's just set the new Nürburgring record, 652, isn't it? So,
and they were driving it so hard and viciously, and we were filming at the other end of the track, but the engine note was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
It was as good as any supercar I've ever heard, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was so
sort of
shrill.
A little, yes. It was extraordinary, really. But quite sort of what you'd expect at lower revs, and then it just screamer.
Yeah, it was an absolute screamer.
So we should say you were filming something for a future Late Break Show episode.
Yeah.
I just popped by to say hello because also I haven't been to Dunsfold for 10 years since we.
Is that how long it's been?
Yeah, I haven't been back since we stopped doing.
I didn't realise it was that long.
Yeah, I haven't been to Dunsfold. The last time I was at Dunsfold was the night that we'd finished the studio. Everything was a bit fractious. We'd had a tricky day, and the presenters were helicoptered up to Yorkshire to film a VT the next day, and that night is when it all went to shit. Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't realise that was the last time you were there.
Well, I sort of didn't until I thought about it. I went, well, no, I haven't been back here. But it was very interesting and sort of weird, but in a nice way, to go back there. And so many things have changed, but many things haven't, including the studio hangar is still there. I couldn't go into it because it was all locked up. But I could see the back door into the building that I used to run into from out of the scanner truck, the gallery truck outside. I used to run out of there and I'd go. There was a door that would take me back around to get onto the studio floor. And the door on the other side that was always open because there were lots of big, thick cables running from the truck into that would, to the desks and stuff in there, and they would talk to the cameras and the sound and stuff. And I would sometimes sneak out of that door because I knew it was always open, but it was still close to the studio floor. just to go and have a panic cigarette back when I still smoked, if the show was getting all stressful in rehearsal or whatever. So there's a lot of flashbacks to that, but also the really manky porter cabin that was our office down there is still there. I was told it was being demolished soon, but it's not happened yet. It is visibly rotten, even worse than it was before. I took some photos. I'll stick them on our Patreon. But so it was quite an interesting experience going down there.
They have done it up, and it has become a little bit posher.
In some ways, yes. Yeah.
In some ways, there's a couple. There was a business on that site that is a garage, repair garage, and it's called SGG. And I was like, but that sounds like SSG.
Oh, I think I took a photo as well. Do you know what?
They've got a Citroen C15 van.
Yeah. No, they've been there forever.
Flaky graphics on the side.
Yeah, no, they have. They've been there for a long time. There's a little sort of nook on the road that went down to the old Top Gear hangar that's by the trees. And when they were filming some bits for Casino Royale there, I was leaving the Top Gear studio one night, and I think I was one of the last to leave, and the Bond people were filming something up against those trees with Daniel Craig getting into the DBS.
Oh, yeah.
But holding up a green screen. And I think it was like they just needed a pickup shot. Clearly, he hadn't got into the car the right way, or they hadn't got the right shot just to cover, something to make it make sense. So and I had to stop. Because they were blocking the road. And I had to sit there in my car watching Daniel Craig repeatedly getting in and out of the DBS.
Oh, really?
With an envelope for about 5 minutes. And then they just went, okay, we're done. And that was it. It was really weird. But I was like, there must be something that the edit's gone.
We have to have this.
We haven't got the shot of Daniel getting into the car, and it makes no sense. Suddenly he's there, and then he's in the car. We need a transition, so you're gonna have to shoot one, but just fucking shoot it somewhere that's not in the light, and put a green screen behind it. And we'll match it in.
It's so glamorous.
I know,
isn't it so glamorous?
How the magic happens.
But all I'll say is that the reason that I was there involved saying the words of the vehicles in question actually hurt my neck. That's all I'm going to say. Well, we'll move on to the fact that we bumped into a friend of mine that used to work at Max Power, who's now a very accomplished photographer. And he reminded me of, do you remember when we had that chat about van drivers and some taxi drivers, I think, who kind of like pull the handbrake up on the car and actually get out the car before it's fully stopped?
Yeah.
Well, he witnessed at the Goodwood Festival of Speed this happening in human form in the urinals. Okay, he witnessed a guy coming in hot into the gents, wearing a Royal Mail outfit, I believe, and he.
No, I thought that this was a previous encounter of the same thing.
Oh, hang on,
Motorway Services.
Oh, this was with the Royal Mail guy.
Yes.
But
he did encounter the same thing today on a sort of even grander scale.
Oh, okay. So he was at the services, and guy stomps into the gents' toilet, and he says before he edges up to the urinal trough, the wall where you waz against, he had already got his dingling out.
Yes.
I mean, it's both organised, because it's got to happen.
Yeah, saving valuable seconds.
But the fact that you're coming in hot with your prong out.
Yeah, I know.
That's not right.
But did he not tell us then that this happened twice to him at Goodwood in the past few days? And one of them was the opposite, where a guy turned away from the urinal and it was all still out. And the man clearly knew that this was not entirely unacceptable, because he made eye contact with our friend and went, sorry. I'm
so sorry.
Yeah,
that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, you have now seen some things you shouldn't have seen.
So there's limits of efficiency.
I think
I'd say
so.
The Royal Mail guy,
yeah,
actually like getting the junk out before you've.
It depends how far back, but I would say in general, almost anything more than about 30 centimetres is too much.
It is, isn't it?
I don't think it's necessary. It's not saving you that much time. It's like Jenson Button sleeping in his trousers. Yes, you're saving a few seconds, but is it really worth it?
I wonder if Jenson Button has a sort of a Velcro pit stop flap. Which
he probably would want one,
because he's worked out. Like there's kind of Walt Disney pyjamas that people used to wear in the olden days, where there'd be a button-down back flap.
Yeah.
Where you could go.
Why was that?
Go to the toilet in the middle of the night and you just unbutton the back end, because there would have been outside toilets in the old days.
Oh, I see. So you don't want to. Yeah.
So you stay warm, but obviously you've got business to attend to.
Did they button from the bottom and roll upwards? They must have done. Otherwise, if they bottom from the top and rolled down, it's all hanging down into the loo. That's no good.
No, that wouldn't work. I
just associate them with sort of like Scrooge McDuck cartoons and things.
Yeah,
do people really wear them?
I think so. I mean, I don't
like sort of Abe Simpson style. Like, I've got my poo flap here.
Yeah, there's a poo flap completely.
It just doesn't. It still doesn't make. Is it? Oh, is it because so that? But then the outside loo, the loo seat is cold.
Yeah, the whole thing's cold.
But actually, your side buttocks are still within the pyjama, so you're not touching the loo seat, so it's not cold.
Exactly. Yeah, all you need is to make sure that the thing that needs to go in the toilet goes in the toilet, yeah?
Great.
You get me.
Okay. Can we just say a big thank you to everyone that has come up and said hello to us in the past couple of days. Yeah,
we've been called flutes quite a lot.
Yeah.
We've had Spolt shouting at us, which is I always enjoy Spolts.
Yeah, I've had also... I don't know if you were there at this point. I had someone who did a sport, but they did like a really good side of the mouth sport. This one, Spout. And I always get slightly panicked by this, in as much as I can never think what to say back. So I inevitably just end up going transit.
Yeah.
But also, hello to the listener who, by his own admission, had some champagne, I think,
in the hot sun.
And he came up to us. Were you talking to someone else? He came up to me first, but he said the same thing to both of us separately. He went, did. "Oh, you're taller and less doughy in real life."
Yeah.
Less doughy.
Less doughy.
Do we sound short and slightly tubsy?
Well, maybe to him we do.
It was probably the second strangest thing that someone has said after a very long time ago. Someone emailed us and went, "Oh, I've seen a picture of you, Richard, and I was surprised. I thought you had a ponytail."
That boggles.
I sound like I have a ponytail.
That just boggles my mind.
I can't. I still can't.
I'm looking, because I've known you for quite a while, but I'm looking at you now thinking, I can't imagine you with a,
I've never had a ponytail.
Party at the back.
No,
with the business at the front.
I've never had hair long enough to ponytail. No, I know there's nothing wrong with that if that's your style, but I've never had that. But I was just a bit. You sound like you've got a ponytail.
I could see you, however, with, and I played it to you last night when I was feeling deliriously tired.
Yes.
The legendary 80s song, "The Riddle" by Nick Kershaw.
Which.
It's a great song. It reminds me of my childhood. I love it.
I know, it does me too as well. Yeah. It reminds me of sort of like being, I don't know, maybe it's like my kind of my childhood bedroom with the radio and like Radio 1 on.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe, because I thought Nick Kershaw was quite cerebral, like, quotes, or referencing Don Quixote in songs and stuff like that. So I thought The Riddle must be a terribly sophisticated song, and then you told me that it's not.
I think it's just made up drivel.
He admitted it's nonsense. There's a tree by a river, there's a hole in the ground. What does that mean, Nick? Nothing.
There's an old man from Arran who goes around and around. But the thing is in the video, which I urge you to watch, listeners. It's quite a video.
It is, isn't it?
He's got an absolutely premium unleaded 99 Ron mullet going on, hasn't he? He has. I think he's got strakes. Side strakes.
He's got Testarossa hair.
He's got Testarossa side strakes, hasn't he? But with the ultimate accessory, which not many testosteroners probably have, braces and murderer's gloves.
Murderer's gloves,
He's wearing rolled up sleeves with murderer's gloves.
That's the thing, he's showing a bit of skin between glove and sleeve, and it's like, why are you doing that, Nick? And again, it's sort of, you're trying to get a read on the climate in the room. It's like, is it hot? It's not hot. You've got your sleeves rolled up. Yeah. So what are the gloves for, except murdering?
Glove and sleeve sounds like a local solicitor's.
Or one of those 90s novelty pubs. Yeah. The glove and sleeve.
Oh, the glove
down.
and sleeve. Yeah, slug and
the goose and bread bin. There was, do you remember there was lots of stupid pub names for a while.
That's when I was a student in London, and it was all, we thought it was fun.
I know, but it wasn't. It's just a hat and mist. And you go, why? There's just two words you've picked out of nowhere.
Piss and Vista.
The piss.
I tell you what, where we are here now, spoiler alert, I woke up exceptionally early the other morning and I knew you were in the shower and I needed a morning wee. And I came out here where these geese are gabbling right now in the distance. And I rooster-tailed some yellow over that garden wall.
How charming. Well, that's because also the people who own this place live in the house, which is just over there. A beautiful old 14th century house, isn't it? It's not a massive place or anything, but it's just
bloody old.
Very old.
If it was a car, it would have very inefficient headlights.
But they've been away, and then there's back tonight, so we have to remember not to go and do like a wee in the garden.
I can't do a country wee tomorrow morning.
No,
just can't.
Remember not to.
No, must not do that.
Anyway, well, look, guys. Hey, guys.
Listen,
guys. It is probably time for us to.
You're lowering your voice like the old grey whistle test.
Yeah, I've gone a bit.
Bob was whistling. Bob
whistling Bob.
Whistling Bob.
No, he was a whistling guy, not him, but whispering Bob. Whispering Bob. No, but it's probably time for us to pack it in,
guys.
Knock it off.
Yeah, listen, guys. It's time to wind these things down. We've got to say goodbye. Nobody likes goodbyes.
But well, so we've been busy preparing to do our Goodwood stuff, and I haven't prepared a sort of end of the show thing. So I was just going to say, well, go and watch the Late Break Show. What will be coming out on Sunday?
Oh gosh, I'm
constantly wrong-footed by questions about your job.
I should know. Let me just quickly look. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, so this weekend is a very unusual car cave that's now a museum. Based in Anglesey in Wales. It's called Anglesey Transport Museum. Very eccentric guy. Just started collecting cars for fun when he had a garage business.
Yeah.
And then latterly in life went, do you know what? I'll just open this as a museum. And he likes his militaria, he likes his bikes, he likes his cars. This is a very old man who's put underglow and chameleon flip paint on a Lotus Carlton. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So he's a fascinating chap. So watch that, please. And if you're not interested in that, watch the previous ones like an E21 BMW barn find and me with my Boxster. Incidentally, my Boxster is parked outside right now. And how covered in shit is it, Richard?
Yeah.
Well, I mean dust, not
again.
Shit.
I'll put the picture of how disgruntled Johnny was when we got back to the Boxster yesterday, and it was pristine and had been detailed, and then suddenly it was covered in dust.
I've got to redetail it. It's got so much earthy powder inside it. It's horrible.
Gonna have to do a re-D.
Well, yeah.
So the second thing I would say is please go to Goodwood Road and Racing. They have many excellent videos from the Goodwood Festival of Speed on their channel, but I would particularly invite you to watch the things that we've been doing for the past few days. First Glance, looking at new cars that are there, Supercar Paddock, the Future Lab. There's some really cool stuff in there, and the Bonham's auction.
Oh, we do an auction walk around,
and the Cartier lawn, and then we are doing, I'm saying this now because it's in the footer, tomorrow we're doing a whole site walk around.
We are, including the rally area.
Could be quite shambolic. We don't know yet because we haven't done it. If there's a third thing, it's the fact that there are a couple of listeners, a chap called Jeffrey from the US and another listener called Andy, both called me out on last week's third fact, which was that Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill was the best-selling debut album of all time. They went, well, Alanis Morissette had done 2 albums before that.
Oh.
There is a little caveat that I missed out. Jagged Little Pill is the best-selling international debut album, as in it's globally, because her first 2 albums were only released in Canada. So she had a 2-album deal with MCA Records Canada, and so they released her first 2 albums, which was sort of quite bubblegum pop. They weren't the Alanis Morissette that we know, and they released them only in Canada. That you couldn't get them, and this is pre-streaming. You couldn't get them anywhere else.
And then Maverick, that's
the thing.
Label, right?
She came to the end of her deal. It hadn't really cut through the way they wanted, and it hadn't got any sort of interest from, I guess, other offshoots of MCA Records, which is a global company. And then, Maverick signed her.
Yeah.
Released Jagged Little Pill. everywhere.
Everyone bought it.
And that became... So, yes, it is a little bit Weasley because it's like, yes, okay, so best-selling international debut, yes, but it wasn't her first album she had. But I think it's where probably she found her voice. So, but thank you for those two, Blakes, because, you know, I'm a deeply pedantic man, so I respect pedantry from others. Can
I just say, I love the word pedantry. Absolutely love it. I think it's great.
All right, well, I'll try and say it more.
There we go.
Anyway, well, that's enough from us. Live, I don't know how much of this is being picked up on the mics because we're amateurs and I don't ever do any monitoring while we're recording, but hopefully you can hear some of the bird song. And actually now there's a grasshopper chirping there.
We've got crickets. We're pretending we're in the Mediterranean somewhere.
And you've left your car with the roof down again.
Yeah, I've left the box
This is like
outside.
being on holiday, except we have to work.
It really is. And once again, thanks to everyone that's come over and said, we really enjoy the podcast. I find it quite therapeutic, or it makes me giggle and I once fell out of a car laughing.
Oh, God, that guy. I didn't get his name.
The guy that owns the caravan company.
Yes, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that in future. But he fell out of his car in a petrol forecourt, laughing
he was having a heart attack.
And a lady came running over to comfort him because I thought he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He was just laughing about the fact that Mike Bruce Lee was a guy. He was a guy that will sell you a car, but also, I don't know, he'll be able to do a big like flying kick and take you out with a 1-inch punch.
All right, well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening to this. We'll be back again on Friday with an otter sot. But for now, goodbye.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, mate. Bye.
So you've enjoyed this podcast, but you've had a thought. Is there a way here today that you could show support? Well, you could join our Patreon. What wonders that it brings. Early shows and extra notes on that side of things. You could buy our merchandise. We've mugs and hats, but still no ties. One day we will make those pies, but in the meantime, guys, hey guys, like and subscribe, and maybe leave a nice review. Like and subscribe, we know you know just what to do. Like and subscribe, we don't want to take the piss. Like and subscribe, but we were told to ask for this. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Right.